Hey guys, welcome back again. Got another quick video for you. This one shouldn't be too long. There's not really a whole lot of update for you, but I've got the front end stripped. We're getting ready to start removing the factory radiator support. So I figured I'd shoot a quick video and show you guys what has to be changed and what the differences are. So again, we remove these couple of spot welds here and here, and then this whole top bracket all the way around to here comes off. This piece here gets sandwiched between here and here, so we drill these spot welds in this one, and the same thing over here. Drill these out, and then I'll clean up this little bit of surface rust, which will be good. And then this whole stock is different, so we drill this off, and then I'll clean all of this little bits of surface rust up, and that'll be good. And I mean, you wouldn't see this anyway because it'd be behind the intercooler, but still, as long as it's apart, I may as well clean it up. I hate rust, absolutely hate rust after this project car, so we'll get that fixed. But then, once that's done, this is the evil one, and this one will go in its place. So if we hold this, you see it's pretty close to the same. There's really only a couple of small differences. Like, you don't have that little inset there, which isn't used on the American car anyway. That little slot right there is for the JDM headlights, the one-piece headlights that have the corner marker built on to them. They're just one piece instead of two pieces. So that's not a big deal. None of that stuff gets used again. And you can see the center stalk sits in a different spot, and there's a lot less metal on here. And then of course you've got the intercooler bracket. So with the and the Mirage sedan should have pretty similar to this one, just won't have the intercooler bracket, and I think there's a handful of other small differences. But then this will get welded on down here, and then you can see that goes pretty much right where it is currently right here. That gets sandwiched in there just the same. I mean, it's people, I've heard people say, oh, you know, the Mirage and the Evo are completely different, they're not even close. But I mean, when it comes down to the details like that, I mean, they really are very, very close to the same car. So, and the sedan, the Mirage sedan, basically has this same radiator support, like I said, with just a couple of differences. So yeah, hopefully this coming week we'll be able to get this stock coupe bar removed and get this sedan bar welded on in its place. There's really not even any lining up that's necessary. It just basically goes on there and gets welded on. There's not much to it, which is pretty cool. So once that's done, I will be able to install the sedan hood latch and the sedan headlights, and that'll be pretty much done. And the rest of the goodies from my half cut. Oh, and we'll be installing these at the same time. These are the C braces for the strut tower that the Evo had. I think I've talked about it before. There's only three actual structural differences between the Evo chassis and the Mirage chassis. One of them's the V brace in the back seat, and then this one right here, and then the diff support, I believe, was the last one. So yeah, once I've got these welded on here, then yeah, there's no structural differences between the two chassis anymore. So I just got a little bit of surface rust underneath here. Really not even super worried about cleaning this stuff up, just because it's not structural, it's just a little bit of surface rust under the paint. But yeah, it's really coming along. We'll get this radiator support swapped out, and then the carbon fiber hood can go back on, and permanently. The front bumper can go on just temporarily. It needs paint, so And then I can install the intercooler and all the intercooler pipes and all that plumbing. And the headlights, corner markers. A lot of the sedan stuff will be able to be installed permanently. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. But there's really nothing else to it, guys. I mean, it's really that easy to do the Coupe conversion. The hardest part, and it is a really hard part, is the doing the fenders, which I believe I've showed you guys before. You take the well, we got better light this time, so that's good. You take the front half of a sedan fender and the rear half of a coupe fender, and these get installed. And that's it. You have to weld them together, obviously. But we had some confusion for a bit as to whether or not the Evo fenders are made of aluminum or steel. They are definitely made of steel, and I have a magnet that I used. It's laying over here somewhere. Aha! Ignore the mess. So, proof, these are in fact steel. It's magnetic, so it's definitely not aluminum. But anyway, so we'll take the front half of the coupe fender, or the front half of the sedan fender, excuse me, and the rear half of a coupe fender. We'll weld those together, and that'll be it. That sounds really easy, but that's actually extremely hard. This isn't the line we'll be using. We just cut it here to keep as much of the sedan fender as we could, and we're trying to figure out where exactly the coupe fender needs to be modified. I picked this up at a pull yard for 20 bucks. Not sure I'll actually need it, but you can see, so we're still trying to figure out where exactly the line needs to be. The line on the sedan fender is much more pronounced than it is on the coupe fender, if you can see that. And then there's like barely a line here. So if you look at it from this angle, this is pretty round, whereas this one is really angly. I've seen people get the right line and it looked perfect, but as far as where they cut, they didn't really have anything documented that I had seen. So hopefully I'll be able to figure that out. Well, no, we will. Not hopefully. We'll definitely figure it out. But I can get the rest of this body panels and all this junk off the floor. So that'll be good. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for now. You guys are pretty much caught up. There's not really, there's not a whole lot else to see at the moment. So just trying to get this thing stripped down so we can start welding on the front. And then the chassis mods will be complete after that. So still trying to decide what I want to do for the turbo setup. Still kind of on the fence about just using the stock frame turbo and going with that, and then keeping the precision around for my next project car. My plans are to get this thing done in the next year, and then I need to buy a house, and once I have a house, then my next project car is going to be a R33 GTR, I think, so I can build a 400R clone. never stops around here. Always got to be modifying something. But yeah, that's a long ways off. So right now I just need to get this thing done so we can get it on the road and start having some fun with it next year. But yep, so it's coming right along. Changed the oil in the Subaru today. So daily driver needs mods too. Mishimoto radiator hoses. But anyway, there's really not a whole lot else to see at the moment. So anyway, thanks for watching. Maybe I'll have to shoot a video on the Subaru at some point soon. It's coming right along. It's a pretty sharp little car. It's a lot of fun to drive every day, I tell you that. So can't just be brand loyal to one brand. Gotta have all kinds of brands. Honda, Subaru, Mitsubishi. Need to add a Nissan to the stable. But anyway, all right. Well, I'll stop rambling. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.